and 1. Hey, everyone, this is Coach Sagasta.
Coach Neil.
And this is the Frank and Neil Keeping It Real show. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sharing. Appreciate it. So, Neil, what do we got for today, man?
We got a lot. We talk about what we've been up to the last couple of weeks. Talk about why we couldn't film last week, and get into a couple of the where we're going to draw our lines. And then, as always, we're going to do a Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Quick thing. Had a game last night. I was yelling a lot, so my voice is a little off. So bear with me today. All right, Coach, let's jump into this.
Let's do it. This is
a good one, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
And I really want to know everybody's thoughts on this one. So leave a little message for us. Would you rather have one wish granted right now or have 3 wishes granted in 10 years from now?
Well, I don't want the wishes now. You know what I mean? I don't want wishes 10 years from now. I want the wishes right now. Oh, hold up, though. Let's piggyback on it. What would you actually wish for? If you only have, you're talking about one wish, right? One wish. What would you wish for?
Ooh.
Well, let's back up. What would you take? The wish right now or the wishes?
I would have to do 3 in 10 years.
3 to 10 years?
Ooh, but who's guaranteed 10 years?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're first.
Or does it automatically guarantee me 10 more years? Because a genie can't let me die if I got 3 wishes coming up.
I don't know, can he?
I don't know.
I mean, if somebody finds the land and I rub that with my feet, I mean, my dogs, I might be able to get some more wishes and take your wishes. I don't know, man. Like,
I think I would do the 3 in 10 years because I'm greedy. I have a few things I would want to wish for. I don't know what they are.
What would be your first wish, though? Your first initial wish?
Ooh. Financial freedom for my family.
Ooh, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
I'm not saying they got to be rich.
Right. Just free from debt.
Free from
debt.
I
like that.
Yep.
I like
just,
that.
They can go month to month without struggling.
Yep. I like that. That's a good
Have
one.
a little bit of money to, travel and whatnot. So I think that'd be my first wish is financial freedom for my family.
That's a very good one. I like that.
What about you? What would you?
I like that
up there.
If I had to choose one particular wish, it would definitely be that particular one is having financial freedom with a small short clause of continuous cash flow coming in, no matter what. So it'd be like a great investment. Actually, you know what? That would be a good one. Like I wish I could go back and invest in Coca-Cola, Hershey, BNSF. You know what I mean? Like then you definitely are sitting like Warren Buffett or Elon Musk, investing in them. So if I could go back, it'd be that one. If you invested in those, I like that. That's a good one.
That'd be my first one.
I like that one. That's a good one. So how was you guys' game, man?
Game went well. 9-hour bus trip just to get there.
It's crazy, man. For football, 9 hours.
Played 3 hours and then 9 hours back home.
God.
It was a 23-hour day. Thank God that, we won. We had a running clock, so that helps the bus trip home.
Exactly.
If I drove down there 9 hours and we lost, I better not hear one word on that bus.
Right. No, it's a dead silence. Dead silence on that.
I'll tell you what, bus trips are a little different now, though.
So tell me about your experience because you experienced a hot dog you haven't had before.
Yeah. So we went down. This school had the best snack bar I've ever been to in my life. They had a Sonoran hot dog. So they had like a hoagie roll with like I don't even know what kind of sausage hot dog it was, wrapped in bacon, baked beans. I want to say it was like a rice of some sort, and then they had like a pico de gallo on top of it. Oh my!
Right. I know.
Listen, I said I'll go back down there and just take that road trip just for those hot dogs.
I love it. No, that's cool.
Yeah, their snack bar was, and then they had like some burgers grilling it. This should be unfair. You cannot cook food with the wind blowing towards my sideline. Coach, what's
a strategic?
What's the play? Hot dog left,
right?
So, no, they messed us up in the fourth quarter. It was a running clock,
right?
And they put an announcement on the thing: all food at the snack bar is 50% off. Yo, I threw my clipboard.
Yeah, exactly. Dang.
This game's over. Let me go eat. So, but no, it was great. The hospitality down there. Shout out to Baba Kavari High School. You guys were amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. The hospitality, you guys have my vote for fans of the year.
Now, when I heard you were going to a Baba Booby,
That's
hold on. When I heard you were going to this a Bobby Kababi, Shababi Lababi, I didn't know. I thought you were going to like Iran or like Kuwait. I thought you were going to like over by Indonesia somewhere. 9-hour drive.
Yeah.
In a bus filled with kids.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a long ways.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think they need to get rid of prisons and just put these criminals on a bus with high school kids now. I'll tell you right now, like you just don't want to get in trouble again. And I'm over here volunteering for this. Like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't have my brain about. I think I got CTE. Just put me on a list with Antonio Brown of people that do dumb stuff. Oh my God.
No, but some of the conversations you hear though in the bus ride, those, and I think I've always said this. Those are some of the greatest memories. You know, when I've always been one of those coaches that are so against parents picking up their kids after practice or after a game. Like, allow your kid. I meant the game. Like, oh yeah, after practice, I want you to get your kid and get going because I gotta go home.
I was like, we usually agree. I'm not agreeing.
No, but like, you know what I'm saying? When you're at a game, you take, and you know this well as I do, and many coaches and even players that have played a sport before, they know like there's something different when you're on a bus ride and you're traveling home with your team. Yeah. Like, I'll never forget coming home from Corona, and for those individuals that played that year at Colton, we remember being on the bus and watching one of our boys in a little Volkswagen 67 Beetle and going down the freeway, and his back wheels like passes him. You see, we're all on the bus, like just everybody glued to the windows. All you just see is this little Beetle just spinning out and cloud of dust everywhere. And like 20 people roll out of it like a bunch of clowns. It was crazy, but it was an experience, you know? It's just, I don't know. To me, I've always thought, man, bus rides are always a great memory for kids.
We had a young man yesterday. He's a freshman, and you know it happens. Forgot his pants.
You mean he was on the bus naked?
No. Forgot his game pants.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what kind of game is this, man?
No, I don't get in trouble for that. No, he forgot his game pants, so he had to sit on the sideline during the game.
Right.
He's over there and he's upset and frustrated, and I told him, I said, you got to just understand that when you get older, you're not going to remember this game. But what you will remember is the bus trips and the camaraderie and the stuff.
Yeah.
And he tells me something that just like blew my mind. We're at dinner and he goes, Coach, you know, this is like the farthest I've ever been away from like city.
Oh, yeah. See what I'm saying?
And
yeah.
Like, what? Like,
right.
I forget, you know, some of these kids don't get to travel and stuff like
don't.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
And he goes, it's so fun over here. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, dude, but it's fun.
I'm like,
it's the bus ride, though.
What do you mean fun?
Yeah. It's the bus ride,
Coach, we're over there and we're singing together and we're laughing, we're telling jokes, and I'm like, we need to get out more.
No, for real, it is.
I love it.
It's like, cool because those memories like that will always stay with them forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I had a former student athlete stop by the school the other day, man, and I was super excited, man. So Joey Reardon came by and paid a little visit, and you know he was one of those kids that won a state title with us there at Malkin. You know, it was just awesome to catch up with him for a minute, and he's going to come back and do one class with my leadership class. They'll be studying negotiation, how to actually use the skill of negotiation here in the next couple of weeks. Okay. And so I really want them to understand why it's so imperative to learn that skill, because they're going to go into life. And if they don't have that skill, how are they going to be able to negotiate why they need a bigger raise or why they need that position or why they feel deserving or worked hard for this other position in corporation or so forth, or even negotiating, buying a building to start your own business, you know? So yeah, it's one of those skills they definitely need, and just trying to find different people in our community to come into the class and just to share their experience or their education or their lessons with some of my students. And it's pretty cool, man. But it was awesome to spend time with him.
Speaking of former players, shout out to Mark Fancher.
Mark Fancher, what's up, man? And Billy Ho.
I can't see what Mark wrote. I can't read that. I'm getting old, Mark.
Yeah. He says my favorite part of football was getting to see places far out of my hometown. Yep. and meet new people in Williams and El Centro. It looks like
El Cap.
El Cap.
Oh,
Yeah,
El Cap. That was a drive too.
yeah, and I agree. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the bus rides are some of the memorable rides.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they're cool. Very cool. I remember in fact, I was telling Joey Reardon, I was like, dude, I remember because I remember Isaac used to look up to, like, you know, the older guys, you know, the older classmen. And I remember getting on the bus and Isaac would see either behind me or with me on the bus rides, and we would go down to Phoenix or we'd go up to Vegas, other side of Vegas. You know, it's just, or even St. George. You know, that was crazy long bus rides, but for the most part, yeah, those are memories, man. You just lock them in.
Yep.
You know.
Talked to Mark's dad the other day. Mark, I heard you're doing pretty good out there. Yeah, Scott.
Yep, Scott.
He bailed me out of a jam. So if you guys ever need anything, go check out Scott's jet ski repair.
Yep.
Wonderful place. Another ex-player, Jerry Keltner. He plays his first collegiate game today. So Jerry, if you're watching, good luck today.
Hell yeah.
Go ball out, man.
That's it, man.
All right. So what have you been up to the last couple weeks?
Definitely working on helping students to understand the development and the this particular thing we call the art of communication. So I've been really focusing hard on that, and I've been literally having a time with student athletes, and I really believe this. And you could we've talked about this before on the podcast, but and I asked Coach Clark this last week. I was like, hey, the kids decided a code of conduct. Like back in the day, we actually had a physical form code of conduct that you went over with your parents. And then we would have a coaches meeting with parents and we would let them know the code of conduct and what our expectations were and the non-negotiables. These are non-negotiables, period. Yep. So I had a group of girls in my class and they were jaw jacking while we're trying to do something in the class. And I know it's a short class, but they were just bullshitting. And I finally said, you know what? I said, I had to stop everything.
Yeah.
And here's why. It's because it bothers me when kids are trying to talk over you. When you're, again, you have an education, you have experience, and you've been doing this for some time. So you're well invested. You have value. And when kids go ahead and disrupt the environment, I just put them out blank. I said, man, you're a thief. You're stealing time from people wanting to learn or hear what somebody has to share.
Yeah.
That's a thief, right?
Yep.
So I said, and you guys are athletes. That's the part that pisses me off. Like straight up. You should have your own, and I know that this is not taught a lot in today's culture, but you should have your own set of standards that is higher than the actual classroom standard. Yeah. And an expectation that represents you and your coach. Because when you act a fool, you embarrass, and I said this, you embarrass your coach. Mm-hmm. When you act a damn fool in class, you embarrass your coach, and then you embarrass your family, period.
Oh, my girls' basketball team, they know if I get an email from a teacher, it's just, you might as well just not come to practice today. Because I hold the kids to a higher standard. You are a role model to these younger kids that come out and watch.
Yep.
You have to be. What'd you say?
Let's go. Notre Dame 21-0. Let's go. Indeed. Let's go.
But yeah, I hold those kids to a higher standard because you're a reflection of so much more. You're out in the public eye that you get when you're in a classroom. Nobody sees you.
True.
Right. So you still shouldn't act up, but it's not as noticeable.
Right.
When you're like out playing, there's so many cameras and so many things, and you're representing yourself, your family, your school, your coaches, your team. So, it's not just you looking bad.
So that was what I've been doing this week. And then what I've noticed myself doing over my morning sessions, my morning routine is I've been writing more. And I'm not a writer by any means. I didn't go to school to write. In fact, I don't even like writing, but I've been like putting certain blogs together. And I had this one particular story, and I don't know what kid it was on campus, but it reminded me of the story about the chicken and the eagle. And I wrote about it, and then I compared it with another story I heard from Jim Rohn, who used to be the teacher for Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins is a multimillionaire, been around the world and back, and has taught a lot of wealthy people. But I wrote that also, and it was just, so that's what I've been doing over the week, man. Besides today having the greatest day outside of doing the podcast of washing the vehicle. I know that sounds stupid, Well, I'm serious. A lot of people are like, why the hell did you wash your detail? I detailed 3 cars, and I told my daughter, I was like, get up, get out. You're detailing the car if you want a car, right? That's the negotiation. If you want a car, you got to get out and freaking wash it, like detail it.
Mhm.
And I'm meticulous. I'm a freaking meticulous person when it comes to detailing the car. So, yeah, that's what I did this morning, man. And I love it. I love it, man.
The weather's starting to turn,
Oh,
so
God.
it's nice. You can get out there and not
Hell yeah.
sweat to death.
Yep.
So I spent the last week driving.
No, I wish I could have gone with you, man. I really wish I could have.
You say that. My mom was in the car. No, it was actually, it was nice. It was some bonding time with my mom. It was cool. It wasn't bad. A lot farther than I thought it was gonna
Hey,
be.
do you guys like start talking about things like you used to do like when you were a kid? Do you guys bring up the conversations?
Mhm.
No, for real?
No. There's sometimes I'll be like, man, if you only knew.
Yeah.
In fact, me and my brother, we're gonna start a podcast.
Yeah.
A couple months from now, and it's gonna be about all the stuff that mom never found out.
Yeah. Oh my
'Cause,
God.
Oh, those stories. Thank God there was no internet when we were kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, flew up to Washington and then drove all the way back down here, and it was nice. But I thought I could drive long distance.
Yeah. How long did you get?
10 hours, and I had to call it a night.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I thought, you know what, a couple of rock stars, whatever. I'm gonna just knock out the whole 20 hours. Nah,
no.
Had to split that into 2 10s.
Yep.
And then get home, take a day of rest, and then drive all the way down to Baba Kavari, which was 9 hours.
Right.
Literally like 3 days. I think we did 2,000 miles. So it's been rough.
That's been a drive. That's a long drive. Yeah, I think the furthest I ever drove was probably to Chicago, and then back. That was probably the farthest I've ever had to drive. But comparing that to going up to Washington, like did the Washington trip when Isaac was stationed up there, and I think I got all the way to Boise, Idaho, and I had literally had to rest. I was tired. Plus, I had worked that day too, so it was a long drive.
I was like, I sit there and I think like, dude, I'm gassed, and I did 2,000 miles. My brother did 3,000 with 3 kids in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, you're a saint, bro.
For real. That's dedication. That's commitment. That's commitment right there.
Speaking of kids,
Anna's pregnant. What?
No, hell no. Your niece, Carissa.
Yeah, it's her birthday. Happy birthday,
Carissa.
Carissa. Happy birthday. She's 20 years old.
She's becoming a young lady now.
She is, yeah.
20. That's crazy.
Yeah.
These kids, we were just talking, they gotta stop growing up. Like
they grow up too fast. Makes us look old.
I remember.
Look old. Not feel old. There's a difference.
How old were
they
when we used to go to Taco Bell every day? What are they, like 6th grade, elementary? I used to pick up Bubba and Carissa, and I was cheap. Okay, I'm like Frank. I'm cheap. I would wait for the Diamondbacks to hit. Diamondbacks have to get 5 runs, and I'll take all the kids to Taco Bell. We get the 3 tacos. They were like, "Coach, you're so rich." I'm like, "Nah, you don't know. They're free."
Yeah. Hey, do they still do that?
No, I was looking the other day, I couldn't find that.
So I was gonna say
Jack in the Box that does on a home run, I believe.
So one of my things of something's got to give, something's got to go. We got to get away from this whole bullshit. You got to bring back the dollar bill, like straight up. I'm sorry, like I'm a Mexican Jew, straight up to the bone. And having the dollar menu always reminded me as a kid, like you had an opportunity. If you found $1 on the ground, you can go get something. Like it just made you feel good. Nowadays, hell no. It don't happen like that. So something's got to get back to that. That's what, it's one of those things where I was just like thinking, driving here, I was driving past Del Taco and I was like, $2 meal. I was like, man, I remember the dollar meal. Like, especially that Baker's. Baker's, you got like almost a meal for $2. It was crazy. Now,
but have you been to McDonald's lately? They got, is it McDonald's, babe? That has the $5. You get like a little cheeseburger. You get some nuggets, some fries, and a drink for $5.
See, that's not bad.
Right? It used to cost us $4, but
yeah.
Inflation. Hey, $5.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So they're starting to get back to it. I was looking the other day, And I looked up when we were kids how much a Happy Meal was. Because a Happy Meal is like $7 now.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, dang, like we used to get a Happy Meal every Friday night.
Yeah.
Dude, they were like $1.50 when we were kids.
$1.99.
Mom,
Yep.
why didn't I get more McDonald's Happy Meals?
Yeah. Where's all my toys at? I want my toys.
Dude,
Right. Those toys are worth money now on eBay.
You know what makes me mad?
What's that?
Why don't they put toys in the cereal box no more?
Oh.
Why do you have to like cut out the thing, mail it in, never get it?
I was thinking that 2 weeks ago because I haven't had cereal in a long time, So I don't like milk anymore. It's funny because when I was a kid, I loved it, right?
Yeah.
I don't really like it. So
side note, did you know In-N-Out has milk? You can buy milk at In-N-Out. One of the kids bought milk last night. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
But sorry.
For real?
Yeah.
That is weird.
We'll get into that later.
So I was looking at those little, back in the day when I was at Milk, it's a high school, it's a school. So back in the day when I was there, who was the receptionist back in the day? I forgot her name. Corey had a box, and you would put those box tops in there.
Oh yeah.
And then they would the tabs off the soda cans, and they would collect them, right? And we're getting money, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at that, and now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking, yeah, they traded in our freaking toys for freaking box tops. You companies, man, come on, dude. Like, you got to get back. General Mills, you got to get back to putting the toys back into the cereal box and stop and get away from those stupid crossword puzzles, man.
Dude,
they're too easy. They're too easy.
At the same time, I wonder how many fights they've stopped from putting. Because man, I tell you what,
true.
Me and my brothers
go at it, huh? Yeah. It was, but see, like
I called the Browns,
right? It was first come, first serve, like straight up. Like,
yep.
If you were the first person to open up the box Saturday morning to watch cartoons and pour yourself a big old bowl of cereal, and you got that toy, that was yours. If somebody else got the toy, more like you guys about to fist fight. Like it was a different, right? But yeah, I wish they would bring back the toys again into the cereal box.
There was just little things that, man, you would be so excited for.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nowadays, so let me ask you, how often do you hear students or people in general giving compliments?
That's a good
Starstruck, right? So check this out. So I would, in my class last week, I told 3 kids, I said, man, you look absolutely nice today. Make a long story short, I told 2 girls the same thing. You have beautiful eyes and you have a very pretty smile that can definitely light up. And in fact, I just told Anna this too about Jay, and I was telling Sarah about it. Jay has a smile that can definitely light up the room, right? And so I was expressing this with students, and then I told Sarah yesterday too about Jay too, because he was putting on the tire, and he definitely had to look, make sure that I seen him the wave goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just that smile, and I was just like, damn, it's just. I almost want to sit there and just talk to him while he's putting on the freaking tire.
Yeah.
Not get dirty, just sit there talking to him while he's doing the work. Yeah. But I was thinking to myself, when's the last time you ever got a compliment? And I was like thinking, like, damn, so Thursday, I told you one of our teachers was having a hard day on Wednesday. Thursday, man, he gave me like the biggest compliment. Like, he was like, man, you look, he's like, if God created like a professional, you'd be it. And I was like, don't, he's messing around, right? He's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, you have a class. Like, you have class, the way you dress and you come into school. I was like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually do got a class in about 15 minutes. I'm just saying, like, you chugging in my time, man. But I was like, a good compliment. I was like, how come we don't give people compliments like we used to?
It's definitely a lost art. It is something that I try to do throughout the day. Just, Yeah. And the other thing is I call.
Wait, what?
You don't do it to me.
Oh, my wife says I don't ever give her compliments because when I do, she gets mad at me. She's like, "You're just saying that because you have to."
But delete that.
But like another thing is I like to call the young men at campus sir, and ma'am to the ladies, and they get so offended. Really? I'm not a sir. Well, I'm not going to touch on that subject. But,
yeah, we'll save that for
another
it's like
time. It's like compliments and stuff like that. That just manners and stuff. It's just like it's a lost art.
So I did do a test at my school. I told this kid, I said, hey, hold the door. Count how many thank yous you get out of the whole class. Dude, 24 kids in that classroom, only one said thank you for holding the door. I said, that's a compliment. it makes you feel welcome when you're opening the door for someone. So when we got back to class, I was like, hey, you guys got to start learning from now on. You got to say thank you. Like, I know it's hard for you guys to say thank you to teachers, but like at the end of the day, you should be saying thank you. You don't get paid shit. Thank you for giving your time and your education and your training, your experience to us. Thank you for putting up with us. Like, there's none of that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's where I draw the line today.
But real quick.
Okay.
Have you ever held the door for someone and they didn't say nothing? You just want
To the yeah.
bring their ass back out.
Circle
Get your
K,
ass out.
Circle K, Boyd City, absolutely.
Oh.
7-Eleven in Compton, definitely,
Hey,
absolutely.
dude, I
Sorry
get so
ass
mad.
people.
I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
have a good day today.
You mother, you
I
doing?
hope you stub your toe. I really hope you don't have a good day. Stub your toe. Pinky
Hey.
toe at that.
There's times where I've been like, want to hurry up and quickly get to the door before they come out. That way I can hold the door again, and this time, freaking ninja kick their ass. Ninja kick their ass.
No, my biggest pet peeve, Frank, and this happened on my way back from Seattle. Okay, is I'm going through the door and I pull the door open, and I always peek behind me just to see like
If someone's
boom,
going,
boom,
right.
And there's a lady coming, and I'm like, oh, let me just. So I stand to the side and I keep the door open. She gonna stop, get her phone, look at her phone, and I'm like, but she's still walking towards me, but she's slow.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay.
we already made eye contact.
Yeah, right,
You know,
right,
I'm holding the
right.
door for you. Now I'm gonna be an asshole if I just close this door and walk inside. Like, okay, where do you draw the line?
There you go, right there.
On, like,
Yep.
etiquette. Like, hey, someone's holding the door.
Yeah.
You do a little jog.
Right.
You pick up
Hell,
your pace.
right. Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, thank you. Like, let me get it.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Okay. So I love this. I'm glad Neil brought this up because yesterday I happened to go to the store and this lady is standing in the flipping middle of the actual driveway for me coming in on her phone. And she looked at me like I was in the wrong. Now, should I have ran her ass over and just dealt with the consequences? Or should I have honked the horn for a long ass time? Now, I wish I had one of those train horns on my car now. I'm actually thinking about investing in one of those just to freaking pull it out and just honk it and just freaking loud. But yeah, dude.
Oh, I'm at a stop sign. Okay, I pull up. There's a car stopped there already. I pull up and I stop. Right, and the guy gonna do this. It's your turn. What do you? How you get mad at me? Like, yeah, some people there go.
Yeah, if you're at the stop sign or a stoplight and you're on your phone, and you just obviously you're doing gestures like that, you got a man face, you might get the bird. And I don't mean
I just do them.
You give them the thumbs up.
Hey, I'll kill them with kindness. Dude, they get so mad.
They do though. Yeah, exactly. They do. That's true. That is true. Yes, I do.
So
so don't give the bird, especially in this state, because it is a $500 fine.
Dad, you got one. My dad got one. My dad got one. Oh, he was at the 5-way.
Oh my God!
Some guy, the cop was right there.
Oh.
So in our town, we have a 5-way, and when you come up, there's like a stop up here that you can't really see. So the cop's up here, my dad's here, and the guy cuts my dad off, runs to the stop sign, cuts my dad off. My dad flips him off, and the cop pulls my dad over. Not the guy running the stop sign.
I was saying the worst, man.
Oh.
It cracks me up. I did see a video this week though. This dude's like, he's in one of those like those 3-wheelers. I don't know if you ever seen this video, but he's like bumping music, a bunch of cars, and there's some guy recording, and he's in there rolling a joint.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see it, and the cop pulls him up. Like, you stupid. Did you not know that? You're not aware? Like, it's crazy.
I can see you.
Yeah. I love it.
Man.
All right, so man, real serious note. So
let's go.
Here's where I draw the line in today's episode.
All right, what you got?
And this is really serious. This really hit home for me because I didn't know this until recently, doing some research, man. And being a former statistic of the California Institution of Foster Care or Social Service, it made me gasp when I found out that there are 2.5 million children in America that are homeless. 2.5 million
in America.
I was like, in America. Yeah. And then out of the 2.5 million, 300,000 of them are missing. There's 301,000 children in America that are missing today, and there are 400,000 children that are in foster care. So I'm like, damn. And then here's what blew my mind. And this is all from the Pew Research Center. If anybody wants to go Google it, Bing it, whatever you want to do. But I was blown away when 81% of the children that are in foster care today have been sexually abused. That right there is what pissed me the hell off. I was like, oh, hell no. So where do I draw the line? Somebody's ass needs to be fired, and there should be more, instead of the whole, don't get me wrong, no disrespect whatsoever. Those people that allow this to happen should be going before Congress. Why Congress and why, again, this, I didn't want to get all political, but this right here hit home for me because I've been there, I've seen it, and I've witnessed it. And that right there hit home when I said 81% of the children in America are sexually abused. I said, and that right there just tipped my fuck. That pissed me off straight up.
Now,
And there's nobody fired for it.
I don't know much about the system. Do people that take those kids in, do they get money for it?
Yes, they do.
See, I think they need to stop that
100%.
because then you're going to only have people that are there for the
For the
right
money.
reasons. Because
Absolutely.
there's people right now that probably just take kids in just for
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
And that's when things like this happen.
Yes.
I mean, you have a sexual predator that can take a kid
Yes.
in and get paid
Yes.
for it. Like we're enabling something that needs to be just cut out.
Yeah, in fact,
That's insane to me.
yeah, you're actually going to do that, and then that there's a possibility, a factor where that one individual, because of all that abuse, might come out even worse from that situation and become a killer. Like
Yeah.
you are aiding dude. I would serious.
So let me get your thoughts on this.
Mm.
We have a young lady in this town.
Mhm.
I want to say she's maybe 28,
Okay.
and she's at like 10 kids now. Okay, she lives on the streets. She indulges in drugs a lot. She will trade her body for drugs, and unfortunately, she's pregnant. And then she just lets the kids go into the system and doesn't,
Yeah.
have a worry in the
Yeah.
world. But while she's pregnant, she gets everything for free. She gets to go
Yeah.
and
Right.
get food.
Right.
So, at what point do you think that the government needs to step in and say, "Hey, you know what? We're tying your tubes. You don't have a choice," or is that like taking away
Ooh.
her right to ever get clean and want to have a
Right.
family?
Right.
So
That's
it's
a hard one
tough,
right there. That's a very hard one.
right?
Damn.
Because I mean, think about, like, these poor kids.
What do you say, Anna?
No.
He gone. Another touchdown.
Study
Let's
for,
go. Let's go.
Notre Dame. But yeah, I sit there and I just wonder, like, when does someone step in so that
Man,
we don't have this problem of 10 kids in a foster system now
Uh,
that will never know who their mom is?
yeah. I'm watching these numbers go up, Neil, and I'm listening to what you have to say, and it is true, man. But I see the repercussion of what's going on with our political system, and that's what I think that's one of the gross things of America is the political system, that you can't tell a woman what they can do with their body. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the biggest things, right? But when an individual has proven themselves to be, I mean, look at China. Like they only want males.
Yep.
Like they had a time where they only wanted males. If you had a female, they were removing it. But I think we have come and the actual, what's the word called? Having baby. What is it called, Anna? When you reproduction system in America has dropped dramatically. Like people in America, genuine Americans, are not having children as much as they used to in the early 60s and 70s. It's a true fact. And so I look at the individual that's now pregnant and she's doing drugs, she's selling her body. Yes, at that point, the government must have been, because we're already giving that person money, aid, and everything else to take care of those children. That's when the government has the say and says, okay, apparently you don't have the full cognitive ability to actually decide things for yourself, that we now have to step in and tie your toes because you just don't have it. It's great. That's a great conversation, man.
Yeah,
That's very interesting.
That's my thoughts. Like, at some point, you have lost the right to make smart decisions. You're putting a bunch of people's lives and just putting them in the worst situation to start.
Yeah.
Like, I just I thank God that I didn't have to go through that growing up, but I feel bad for the people that did. Like, you have to sit there and wonder every day, like,
Oh man,
Why? Like, did you
Yeah.
not want me? Or
that's exactly how I felt for a very long time, straight up. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. In fact, Tony Diaz was my one of my counselors at my boys' home, and he just jumped on the podcast. But it's crazy because I can't believe that there's so many kids like that in America. 2.5 million that are homeless.
Yeah.
That's unimaginable, man.
Yeah.
Here in this country, it's like, dang, how is that even possible? But
It's crazy.
again, I know it changed the gears again with the whole emotion of how we feel as Americans and as viewers. But that's where I draw the line is somebody has to be fired
Yeah.
in the system of the government that actually directs this and watches these things, because there's something wrong with you. This shouldn't happen.
Well,
We should have, dude, I didn't notice, but in England, there was a dude by the name of Charles Spurgeon. He ran a whole orphanage, over 100 kids,
Mhm.
not the government's help, period. He did it all on his own. He had a little farm and everything.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, when
Dang.
the people that aren't doing it for the money are doing it for right reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
right. That's crazy, man.
42-0 happened.
Oh my. Let's go Notre Dame. Let's go Notre Dame. Let's
so
go.
let's jump on that Notre Dame too.
Okay. Let's go.
So I'm not a big Notre Dame fan. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not a big. I don't follow them.
Right.
But you do.
I do.
That's your team.
I do
Okay?
religiously.
You had said something about there was talk of maybe possibly getting rid of the quarterback,
Ooh.
but looks like he's rebounding and doing pretty well today.
Yeah,
42 nothing at halftime.
Yeah, he's doing good. So whatever happened over the last weekend, last Saturday, Notre Dame lost, and they lost to a game that they should have won.
Mhm.
And when they did a press conference, I was able to go ahead and share my message just as well as every other fan out there, and I was really sincere. When the question is asked, where do we go from here? It's very simple. Number one, either you get rid of the quarterback, or two, you get rid of the OC, or you sit down. There's three options, or you sit down with all three of them and you really hash it out, because there's no reason that any program should end like that by a team dynamically you should beat. And so again, watching this turnaround, yes, something happened behind doors we didn't get to see.
I'm pretty sure that the OC and the QB sat down and they got on the same page of what works for them.
Yeah.
I've had to do that many a times. My system doesn't work for the quarterback I have. I have to change things. And, sometimes, you have a system where you want the quarterback rolling out to his left and make a throw. Some quarterbacks can't do that. So I'm sure they sat down, they threw some plays out of the playbook, and looks like they got it settled in. So
yeah, they're doing good. They're good.
Real quick, speaking of green and gold, I want to shout out Mojave High School for winning the Golden Shovel last night. Hey, way to go get that back for the city, guys. Great job. That's 2 years in a row now, right? So shout out to you guys.
Brody says, breaking news, the Raiders still suck.
That is very true. The Raiders still suck. They will always suck. They can win the Super Bowl. I'm still going to say they suck. But I'll probably be in a retirement home by the time they win.
That's some funny stuff. Yeah, man. If you could bring back the plays and the dynamic system of John Madden, you might get close to actually winning an actual Super Bowl. But you'd have to bring back that chemistry. If you don't have that chemistry, you're not winning. If you don't have the chemistry of what was his name? Oh, Jimmy Johnson, you're not going to win Super Bowls. You have to bring back that same type of dynamics, period. Hands down. Nick Saban, same thing.
So John Madden was a great coach, but if you could bring him back as a coach or as an announcer, which one are you bringing him back as? Because, man, I used to love when he was in the booth.
Because he would pencil you in. If you knew nothing about football, him and Pat would pencil you in. They would school you from the booth. So, I mean, if I had to bring him back as a coach or an actual announcer, I would say the announcer. Here's why. It's because the announcer – he did you think back to the Dodgers, man, and you bring back Vince Scully. Vince Scully did his homework, a diligent, and again, I love Coach John Wooden, but him and Coach Vince Scully had a chemistry, and I love the way that they spoke. They just very eloquent in how they delivered a message about a player or about a team and their coaching. They just went and did their homework.
So those that don't know, Vince Scully, he hit you with this right here. It's a 3-2 count. And when this kid was in first grade, he was the lead role in
he's not lying.
The Wizard of Oz. And there's a ball 3. Ball 4 because it was full count. He walks to first base. And speaking of walking, this next batter, he did the walk for cancer 5 years. Like,
he would.
he would know
Everything about them.
And
He did his homework.
And in baseball, you know, you got different teams coming every 3 to 4 days, depending on how long the series is. So I know he was studying.
He
wasn't some of these announcers we have today. They're
no disrespect.
I think this guy's name is Eli De La Cruz. Cruz. He might be good. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do your homework.
So-
And this is why we harp on kids. Like, go home, find some skills about some individuals and learn about them, man.
Yes. Definitely wish we had a Vince Scully.
Yes.
now.
John Madden.
John
you know,
Madden.
just like I said, he would draw. Boom. This is where it should be. Boom. It's like, oh,
I thought Tony Romo was going to be that way, but he kind of fizzled out. Like his first year, he was predicting plays, and I thought he was going to be there. Tom Brady's up there now. Let's see how he does.
hey, dude, I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but here's something, a true fact that I just learned this week. I do my morning walks on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I do my morning walk, take my dog on a walk, and I listen to an audiobook as I'm walking. And this particular audiobook, he points out some facts. He says, you know, it's amazing that a lot of people don't realize this, but Tom Brady took a massive pay deduction, pay cut all the way across the board for 5 straight years because he wanted the right lineman. He still was able to help his lineman with, again, celebrating them, getting them Rolex or getting them a nice vehicle or even a $10,000 sign-on bonus, little certain things like that. That right there stuck out to me. He told back then, which was still Robert Kraft, who was the actual owner of the New England Patriots. He expressed in a meeting, and I love this, man, just hearing this story, that he told Robert, I would prefer to take 40 and put the 60 on my lineman.
Yep.
I thought that was freaking just so humbling because he already had Gillette, he had Nike, he already had major contracts.
Yep.
So he was going to make his millions no matter what. And today, looking at it, you know, at his professional career, I still hold him down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever come out of the NFL and out of Michigan, period.
Yeah, he's probably one of the greatest to ever come out of Michigan. Second greatest in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes. Shout out Patrick Mahomes. So Patrick Mahomes is following the blueprint.
He is.
Yes, he got $500 million, but he could have had a lot more.
Right.
They said he could have been way up there, but he said, "Listen, structure my contract. We'll keep restructuring it. We're gonna pay the lineman. Go pay Chris Jones. Let's get that defense where it needs to be. You know, do you know Patrick Mahomes is not even in the top 12 quarterback?
Shame on you, fans. Shame on you, organizations. He should definitely be up in the top 10.
But he doesn't want to be. He wants to keep restructuring. You could look at what's his name? Dak Prescott just took some crazy amount. How are you gonna pay Micah Parsons, who's probably like the biggest? Him and CeeDee Lamb, you need those two. Anybody could throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb, right? I mean, Dak Prescott, he's good, but he's not doing crazy things. The one that really upsets me, Deshaun Watson, guaranteed $400 million, and now he's about to lose it all. Yep. He just got charged again.
It's stupidity.
Another lady just came out.
What was that saying? You could take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the boy.
Yeah,
that's the old saying, and I don't remember where I heard that from. But when I was starting off coaching, that's exactly what I heard, and it used to always stick with me because I used to think about children's behavior, youth behavior. You know, and I think that's true, man. And look at the NFL. We have a lot of young athletes that are, and I remember Deion Sanders and Shannon Sharp saying they need, it was Scottie Pippen and Shannon Sharp expressing that you have to teach these kids about money management because they don't get that in college. They have other people that help them do their work and everything else. But when they get to the NFL and they're making all these millions, they do some stupid things.
Yeah. Shannon Sharp did some stupid things.
He did.
He needs to learn about social. He needs to learn about social media. Did you hear what he just did?
No.
Turned his phone on, went on Instagram Live. Thought he'd never been on before. Thought he turned it off, threw the phone on the bed, and got active with a young lady. And it was all on Instagram Live.
Shannon, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, you got some great podcasts, and I love his podcast. I love what he's doing with his podcast. Yeah. But come on, man. Like, you gotta know.
Yeah. So he's against
the community standards on Instagram. So he's in jail for a moment.
In jail, Tyreek Hill. He almost went to jail.
I'm serious. Like
That's
some of these
crazy.
athletes, man, you just got to think like, what the hell's the matter with you when you're making all these millions and you're doing some stupid stuff? That makes no
Crazy.
sense. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is most definitely.
No.
All right, well, we got to get out of here. It's been an honor, privilege to be with you guys. We look forward to being with you guys next week for episode 15 on the Frank and Neil Keeping It Real podcast show. Please keep sharing. Please keep on subscribing. And please keep on sharing your comments with us. That way we could jump in there and engage with them. All right? Peace out.
We out.